So, Tim, a quarterback kind of like Kellen Mond, we kind of compare him to yourself here in Florida. Kind of tell me how does Georgia's defense, try to contain him? Because they really haven't seen a quarterback that's able to pass, very versatile.
Well, I think Kellen can bring some special things to the table. I think a big key for Kellen is consistency and also being able to do it in some of the big moments. I do think A&M, if all is put together, has a chance to put together a really good performance. One that Georgia's going to have a good game plan for, prepare well. Jimbo's a great coach, so I think they're a true test. I think they're getting better. So Kellen definitely is a real threat.
What do guys like, I think, Cordarian Richardson and Isaiah Spiller bring to the table? Kind of a two-headed monster in running back for A&M. What do you think they're going to be able to accomplish?
Well, I think what they need is consistency and to be able to win on first down. And Georgia's defense has been really good all year in every area, but they're really good at taking away the running game, putting teams in third and long, making them have to compete in uncomfortable situations. And something they did nonstop last week against Bo Nix and Auburn. I think that is something that A&M they want to do, is they want to be consistent, they want to be balanced, and Georgia's really good at defeating that. And so I think more than the big plays, it's not really about the yardage. It's not a yardage game. It's not get to 100 yards rushing. I think there's some statistics that skew the way people look at them. It's how do we get those yards? It's are you able to consistently help out Kellen, put your team in good situations, convert on third and short. That's why I think one of the most valuable players on any team is Clyde Edwards-Helaire for LSU, because he's so good on third and short. He finds a way to get those hit yards. He's been doing it all year. So I think that's something that A&M really needs, is those critical plays. And that also comes from the receiver position. Slants, tunnel screens. They've just been inconsistent with this starting Clemson game.
On the flip side, Georgia's offense was basically shut down last week. The first quarter only had 2 yards. What is something that Fromm and Swift and Arian, their offensive line can do against this Texas A&M defense?
Well, they were going up against a really good defense last week too. I think they need to continue to open up and play a little bit more aggressive, like they did against Florida, especially on third down against Florida. They were aggressive. They knew they had to do some things to win, to push the envelope, and they did it in that game and were very successful. There's been some games where I think they just kind of waited because they knew they were a better team. I would personally like to see them be a little bit more aggressive. I think it'll help Jake. I think Jake's one of the better players in the country. I think it would free some things up for him as well, though.
Do you think they need more aggressive downfield?
Yes, I do. I think it would help him. I think Jake can manage it. He knows if it's not there, I'm going to check it down. Just had a chance to spend a while with him. It's where I came from here, and I think it's a very poised, accurate, very good quarterback, one of the best in the country. And I think it's a great time to trust him. And I think to win it all, you're going to have to trust him in those moments.
Tim, you said you thought that A&M could pull an upset here. You thought there was a chance. What's the formula for Texas A&M?
I don't know if I said there's a chance. I said they're a very stout team that if all work together, of course there could be a chance. I think the formula is to be able to put yourself in third and shorts. Can't have field goals. Got to have touchdowns when you get down there. Find a way. It's hard with Jake, but find a way to get a turnover or two and get yourself in a short situation. I don't think they beat Georgia playing Georgia's game. And they're very similar styles. I don't think they win that. I think there's something unique got to come to the table. And I think it could be Kellen with his legs, big plays from the receiving core. I know this was the beginning of last year, but going back to the second half when it was desperation mode for A&M against Clemson, the way they played that second half, I don't know. I might press the envelope and be able to do something like that, really spark something in Kellen and A&M's offense. And I think there's got to be something different that really gives this team a spark in this game.
Do you see any carryover of what Jimbo Fisher does now against the Florida State teams that you play? Do you see any staples that maybe he learned during his time?
Well, I think there's a lot that he's carrying over and stuff. I think those teams, had more talent and depth than he does right now at A&M. He's getting there. I think he's gonna get some. He's doing really good in recruiting. They got a lot of young talent, but they don't have the same depth. They don't have the same speed yet that he had with some of those Florida State teams. You got to remember, there was a lot of draft picks on some of those teams. A lot of really good players, and he doesn't have that yet. Nor do I think he has the probably some of the those top elite players that he had in his best years there. I mean, he had a lot of 2 big-time running backs, a few big-time receivers, Jalen Ramsey at cornerback, 3 NFL linebackers, a bunch of defensive linemen, first-round pick at quarterback. It's a lot of talent, a lot of big-time talent. And he's getting there. A&M's getting there, and I think it is a sleeping giant that's going to wake soon. It's not to where Florida State's talent was when it was at its peak yet.
You've been very complimentary of Jake Fromm throughout his career, and you're aware of the defense. How worthy is Georgia of this number 4 ranking? They have a bad loss, but they've got the 3-15 wins. How do you evaluate Georgia?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I do. It's a bad loss, but they got some really quality wins. And I think when Georgia plays complementary football and they put it all together, it's not going to look as flashy as the teams that they're competing against. So I think that's where you have to understand what the eye test looks like. The eye test isn't about they didn't put up 45 points. The eye test for Jake Fromm isn't that he has the same stats as Tua or Joe Burrow. When Jake plays to the best of his ability in a Georgia offense, he will not have the stats that Joe plays when Joe plays to the best of his ability. It's not because he played any less, it's because it's a different style of offense. So I think you have to look at the style of play and how they play complementary football with their defense and special teams and both and all that works together. But I think when this Georgia team plays complete, plays all phases, their defense is so good. They don't hurt themselves with turnovers. Good special teams, good field goal kicker. When all that's together, they're a tough team to beat.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks,
awesome.
Tim.
Thanks, guys. God bless.
Good stuff, man.
Yes, sir. Good to see you.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Yes, sir.